Wrestling fans, Gene, for the last few weeks, you've heard me tell James McCombs we had some surprises for him. Well, my friends, they start right here with the man next to me, a living legend in his own right, none other than Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Wahoo, for the last few weeks, Chief Jay Eagle and Johnny Eagle and James McCombs, as he is a commissioner here with American Pro Wrestling, I've been going over his contract with a fine-tooth comb, trying to figure out some way to get rid of it. As bad as I hate to say it, it's a pretty ironclad contract. But through the weeks that I was looking at this contract, I did find something very interesting. I found that as the executive director of American Pro Wrestling, that I can appoint another commissioner or an interim commissioner, which Wahoo has been associated with American Pro Wrestling ever since we began down at the old Shamrock and was on Channel 40. You remember that, Wahoo, very as well as I do. But what I'm proposing tonight, wrestling fans, I want you to listen very closely. I would like to hire Wahoo McDaniel as a second commissioner to help me keep an eye on the masked referee that we have, on James McCombs, and Wahoo, if you'll accept this position, I'll give you 100% backing as the executive director, and between the two of us, we'll straighten these Indians with attitude, James McCombs, Jeff G. Bailey, and some of these other rule breakers out.
Well, you know, McCombs says, I can do this, I can do that. Well, let him get his fat butt up in here and see what he can do. I may not be the man I was, but I can tell you one thing, I can whip McCombs. And as far as Jay Eagle and John Eagle, they go out here, I stood up for the Indians for all these years, and I've had many a fight, in the ring, out of the ring, and here is these Cherokees want to run around here and degrade the red man. Well, let them come on, because I think I can just kick their butt too.
All right, Wahoo, then you're going to accept my offer and become interim commissioner of American Pro Wrestling. How about it, wrestling fans? You like that idea?
Introducing first the challenges at a total combined weight of 390 pounds. There is Nick Fury and Freak Daddy, AJ Clark, from Juvenile, the delinquents.
If we ever get it started, Dan Ferris.
Right now, the Eagles having words with Dennis Price, and the bell is signaled.
And it's going to be A.J. Frost squaring off against Johnny Eagle.
Charlie, I can't help but notice that McCone is not out here at ringside with the IWA. I really don't know why, but it makes you wonder why he's not out here. Is he back in the back trying to cook up something to offset you appointing Wahoo as the interim commissioner?
That's right. Wahoo's been with us, just like I say, ever since we started the TV. He's been a part of American Pro Wrestling, and Wahoo is a legend. I think that he's the type of guy that we need around here to help make some of these rules and make some of these guys carry them out, Wahoo. If these referees can't enforce the rules, then we'll get someone that can.
Well, like I told him, you got to have rules. If you don't have a rule, you don't have a game.
That's right. And this is something that I've been preaching here for 6 months now. And notice that Johnny Eagle right away going to the eyes of A.J. Frost and delivers a big thunderous tomahawk chop, Wahoo. And you delivered plenty of them in your time, I know. And those things right there, Eagle holding the shirt up so that he has absolutely no pad there, Wahoo. But the shirt's not very much padded anyway if you know how to throw a chop like Wahoo McDaniel.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I was sitting here just thinking that with Wahoo being appointed, that you've got to bring the sport of wrestling back as a sport, and McComb has done everything he possibly can to turn it into a street fight. Speaking of which, that's what it's turned into in the ring right now.
Well, see, that's what I like, Dad. I like the real heat in professional wrestling. All this ballyhooing with cheap heat and cheap bull, I'm not for it at all. If you're going to wrestle, then go back to the old days of wrestling, to the old school, where guys like Wahoo McDaniel, Johnny Valentine, and so many of the other ones, Crippler, Ray Stevens, Crusher, and even the Chief himself from Detroit, Eddie Firehead up there. Those guys knew what, well, I mean, the inside people in wrestling, and I mean, everybody's smart now, as we talked about that also. And I mean, you know, really and truly, some of these guys that don't have the first clue, that's been around the business 20 years.
Eagle sending Frost for the ride into a boot.
A big boot, and A.J. Frost is down, and I think he caught him right in the snoot with that one there, Paris.
No doubt about it.
It's like they took all the fight out of him now.
And the Indians taking it into
I guarantee you, he's going to be black and blue tomorrow from those tomahawk chops, Wahoo. But these kids, they never give up. They keep trying.
Eagle
Go ahead, Dad.
catches him with a variation of a suplex, and A.J. Frost breaks it up in a hurry.
Goes over and hits his partner up, does A.J. Frost. Double teaming now on Jay Eagle. Catches him with a big double. And look at that roundhouse kick there, Wahoo. And the referee's outside the ring. The referee's out to lunch.
That was a spin kick and a sweeping kick, and Wahoo, as Eagle reaches right across Wahoo and catches the tag title belt.
Look at this.
Stuns him on the belt. This is the type of stuff you have to stop.
That's right. This kid tomorrow is going to be eating soup with a straw. And we have the winners, the tag team champions, the Indians with Attitude, Jay and Johnny Eagle.
Indians with attitude.
We'll be back, wrestling fans, with more right after this.
Jay Eagle hits the ring with a chair. He tries to cripple both of these men.
Well, I guarantee you, look at the dents he just put in that chair.